COD's been in the blender recently, and it seems like there's been no light at the end of the tunnel, but finally we have some good news from Treyarch with what they're working on. And one thing I want to bring up is, even though Vanguard has been as bad as it is, somehow it's still better than Battlefield and Halo this year, which kind of blows my mind. But let's talk about what Treyarch is bringing to the table. They had a huge Twitter post where they said they're working on round-based maps for Vanguard Zombies, which is almost too little too late. I want to dive into that a little bit more. They're adding new ranked play seasons and rewards. Jungle is getting remastered for Black Ops Cold War multiplayer, which I don't understand why Treyarch has such an obsession with the maps Slums, Village, and WMD, because those three maps have been in the last three Treyarch titles with Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, and Cold War. Like, they're great maps and all, but I would prefer at this point to see brand new maps rather than the same maps being copied and pasted over and over again. That's just me. There's a new secret in Black Ops Cold War Zombies, which a lot of people are speculating is a super Easter egg, which I also want to dive into. There's Outbreak and Onslaught updates, which I don't really care for those game modes. And then there's new weapon bundles for Cold War and Warzone. And there's a new weapon coming to Cold War, and I really don't know what this weapon is. I'm sure there's a history buff or a weapon buff that knows what this is. I really don't know what class of weapon it would fall into. It looks like a primary, but I don't know if it's an LMG, SMG, assault rifle. It really just baffles me. It could even be a marksman rifle or a sniper rifle. I could just be really dumb. And it finally looks like we're getting good content being added back into the franchise. It feels like forever since we've actually had new stuff to do within COD. It's felt very stale recently, where it feels like we're doing the same thing over and over again. Even with new seasons, there hasn't been a lot of new content other than a couple new weapons here and there. But for zombies, this is going to hopefully fix Vanguard for the better. But I have a hot take. I really don't care how good or bad the round-based mode is. It could be the best round-based mode Zombies has ever seen, but I've already mentally checked out of Vanguard Zombies to the point where I could care less if they brought Black Ops 3 style Easter eggs and map design into the game, because I've got my Dark Aether. The launch of the game was so piss poor that I've lost all interest when it comes to Vanguard Zombies. Now, Cold War Zombies, I'm excited for all the updates that are happening over there, and if there is a super Easter egg where you have to complete every single Easter egg in standard round-based and in Outbreak, and you get like a really cool reward at the end, that would be awesome. That would be a lot of fun to grind out and do all the Easter eggs again. But I just can't see them fixing round-based zombies in Vanguard. And it kind of makes sense now why the game has been as bad as it is. Treyarch is working on both Cold War and Vanguard Zombies simultaneously, and from this Twitter post, it seems like they're still focusing more on Cold War than Vanguard, which honestly I would much rather prefer Treyarch drop Vanguard Zombies and focus on Cold War Zombies instead of keeping up this balancing act. And I know business-wise, Activision's not going to let them do that, but in the eyes of the consumer, that would be the best play to take care of the game that is already good and improve it even more, rather than trying to put out a dumpster fire and turn it into something good. Not that it's impossible to do, it just seems like they're running still with limited resources here, and it's really showing in the game. And the first round-based map that we're going to see is Shinonuma Reborn, which is supposed to be a remake or a reimagining of Shinonuma, which is super cool and could be really interesting, but I'm craving a brand new original Zombies map. And I'm not talking what we saw in Cold War, where it was campaign missions reimagined, or old zombie maps being reused over and over again. I want something new and fresh. And I saw a tweet regarding quote-unquote unoriginal zombies maps, and the tweet went something like, because Gorod Krovi's Pack-a-Punch Room was a reused asset from the campaign, does that mean Gorod Krovi's a bad map? That tweet obviously addressing all the hate that Zombies has been getting for using campaign and multiplayer maps repurposed for zombies. And I don't think people's issues is with small parts of a map being reused assets. It's when the entire map is reused assets where it feels like there's a lack of effort put into it, and there's almost a lack of atmosphere and originality. And that's not necessarily the biggest issue, but if you compare a map like Ancient Evil, Shangri-La, or Moon to a map like Duran Fun, which map is going to be a much more enjoyable experience? not gonna be the map that we see every time we play multiplayer campaign. It's gonna be something different and unique. And that's part of the magic that zombies used to have. You could go anywhere and fight zombies. Even on the damn moon and in the middle of space, you were fighting zombies. Do you see the issue that me and a lot of other hardcore zombie fans have with how Vanguard and Cold War is played out? Not that Cold War is a bad zombies experience. I'll say that flat out right now. It's pretty enjoyable. It's really easy, but it's a perfect casual experience. It just feels like the magic that was once there is gone, and with how these updates keep happening, won't come back. Now, hopefully they do, and hopefully I'm proven wrong. I'm always open to being proved wrong when it comes to Call of Duty because then we get an amazing product at the end of the day. With greener pastures in Cold War Zombies, they have plans to bring additional maps to Cold War, and when they were talking about a zombie secret, one, I think that zombie secret is either going to be Zombies Chronicles 2, which will have the Transit Trilogy maps, and those will be brought into Cold War, or it's going to be the Super Easter Egg, and they've also addressed that they have plans to bring additional maps to Cold War Zombies, like brand new maps or remastered maps, whatever, it's going to be new, which is going to be good. I think it's still going to take away from fixing round-based zombies on the Vanguard side, because everyone's just going to be on Cold War anyway. And if they are making Zombies Chronicles 2, I did forget to mention this as well, that development time of remastering the Transit Trilogy maps and updating them for how Cold War Zombies plays, assuming they're going to bring it into Cold War Zombies, they better not put it into Vanguard or else they're going to look like the biggest clowns ever. But all that development time with whatever maps they're putting in Zombies Chronicles 2 is going to be the reason why Vanguard is so unfinished when it comes to zombies and why it feels like an uninspired last-minute project. However, I will say I'm completely fine with Vanguard Zombies being the worst zombies experience in gaming history, as long as Chronicles 2 is incredible. I'll make that sacrifice any day of the week. I also want to bring up something theoretical. Imagine if Zombies Chronicles 2 not only remasters the maps that we didn't see in Zombies Chronicles 1, so I think that's Call of the Dead, Mob of the Dead, and the Transit Trilogy maps, plus Nuketown Zombies. Imagine if we also saw Shadows of Evil thrown in there, or maybe some other maps that we haven't seen remastered from Black Ops 3. That would be incredible. And if you think about it timeline-wise, Black Ops 3 was almost 6-7 years ago now, I believe. And that's around the same amount of time that was in between Zombies Chronicles during 2016 and when the Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 maps were originally released. So that's kind of crazy to think about how fast time flies. Now we're all going to have existential crises thinking that the world's ending and time's moving too fast since I said that. If we actually did end up seeing the Black Ops 3 maps remastered with Zombies Chronicles 2 on top of the Transit Trilogy maps, and possibly Mob of the Dead and Call of the Dead, I would swallow my pride because Cold War would then be the best zombies experience in history, because not only would it already have the best gameplay mechanics when it comes to Pack-a-Punch, perks, and the salvage system, but it would also have the best maps from the franchise with the best story and Easter eggs, which would be absolutely fantastic. I mean, a man can only dream, right? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I'm about to head out. If there is one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Nice. We got it.
Let's go.
We got it. Let's go, boys and lady.
God damn.